Good morning. It's been requested that I do a garden tour because everything is just looking pretty nice right now with the spring. Although right here isn't so great. I do have some pansies, but the big flowers that grow in here haven't started sprouting yet. They're a little late. But we're going to come out to the front yard. And out here, the phlox and the pansies and the yellow irises are just going to town. And so we wanted to show everybody. Amelia has her pipe, and she's going to check it all out with me. She had to come along. There's the street gardens, and the baby bliss and irises are just going to town, and the purple phlox, and I did put some pansies out there. I kind of switched out the ground covers last year and put the one that was in the bottom tier actually on the ground, and it's filling in nicely. There's some areas that I'm still going to transplant some more, but then I put a different ground cover on the tiers, and that's got those pretty pink flowers on it, and quite frankly I can't remember the name of it. Get over here, and I did put a couple little geraniums in there. We've got to bring out the little bulldog that goes between my little couple. Some more of that ground cover. Quite frankly, I don't remember its name, and don't know what it is. But the compass garden itself is looking pretty spectacular. And with all the phlox blooming around the outside, that, you know, in another week that'll just be green on the ground. But the points of the compass will still have its color. We did have to replace our little miniature Japanese maple this year. This is a new one that just got planted a couple days ago. The rabbits ate the other one so badly that they killed it. And so this winter coming up, our intent is to build a cage that we actually put over the whole thing, so that the rabbits can't get it, even like from the snow, because the snow was deep enough on it that the rabbits weren't there, but you know, weren't able to get the trunk for a while, but they got right up and chewed on the branches right from the snow. So this little patio area has become Amy's resting place. So we've got her cool mat, and she lays there and plays. And then the hostas. We have clematis growing, and they're getting up where they'll start blooming soon. I actually have some new ones that we're going to be planting a couple places. I've got some there and on the other things. And then here's the tier garden, and the iris out here are putting on a show, and looking quite lovely right now. I think I have decided I'm going to move the yellow baby bliss to the bottom tier and put a taller iris up at the top tier for the next season. But for this season, I have them there, and the other thing that really is pretty this year, but there's not a ton of them, is these huge double blooming daffodils that came back. You know, I planted them actually along the fence several years ago, but then when we moved things around for the pond, I moved them to here. And last year they didn't bloom at all. This year I got one bloom off of 3 of the plants, 2 on each end, and one of them didn't bloom at all this year yet. So they've just got to grow a bit. I also have back here where the peonies will be blooming in a week or so. The allium is coming up nicely. So then we're going here to the new deck, new landing patio leading onto the deck that Bruce has built this year. And we bought this hardtop gazebo that hopefully we won't be replacing it again. We have, you know, enough room for it. Over here we have the water lily garden, and I do have a couple of water lilies blooming, but it's too early this morning for them to be wide open. As you can see them in there, but they're not too wide. And so this is it. This is the spring flowering so far. I do have some more annuals to plant in the bottom tier of the garden here. And they're in the bucket over there, but it was just too warm, and I am not quite up to snuff as far as getting things into the ground after my little episode last week. So you know, taking it easy and not pushing it too hard. To the end.